Well, hi. Right here in the man cave again today. I've got a weed eater over here that I need to lay hands on. Yesterday at church we were thinking about the marks of a true disciple. And to give us some background on that, we went to something that Jesus said to his disciples. He gave them a commandment, and then he gave them a means of identification. In John chapter 13, he said this, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another." Now verse 35, "By this all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." Well, he first of all talks about the fact that he's got a new commandment for them to follow if they're going to be his disciples. And that is the commandment of love. Love, how wonderful that is. You know, I went to Criswell Center for Biblical Studies in Dallas, and Dallas Baptist College, and Southwestern Seminary in Fort Worth, and I got a little Greek in there, okay? And when we usually think about this word love in the scriptures, we get back to that Greek word agape, and we point out there's a lot of different Greek words for love, but that's the one that's got to do with a God kind of love. I was trying to think of a way to express that in a different way to our people. Most of them can run through those different Greek words as well as I can. I've been through it so many times with them. And it's kind of funny, you know, sometimes you just think about something and then you start seeing it everywhere. Well, I was trying to think of a new way of expressing that, and sure enough, there on Facebook, somebody put up a poster and had a picture of Jesus, and he was sitting at the bedside of a sick child. And it said, love or loving means to treat people the way Jesus would. Now, dear folks, that really struck me, and I hope it does you. I want to be a person that loves like Jesus. I want to treat people the way Jesus would treat them. There was a Special Olympics a few years ago, and this is where handicapped children come together and they have a competition. This one particular event was a 100-yard dash. And all the children lined up. There were 9 of them in the race. The gun sounded, whatever means they started it with, or blew a whistle, and the race was on. And they took off, and they didn't get very far before a little boy fell down. And when he fell down, he began to cry and cry and cry. Well, the other contestants stopped. They turned around. They saw the little fellow crying. They went back to him. They lifted him up. He had a bruise, a skin place, where when he fell down he'd hurt himself. A little Down syndrome girl kissed him on that and said, "Now it's going to get better." And then all 8 of them, the other 8, they lined up holding hands, and then they walked the rest of the 100 yards. I kind of wish that the world could be like that, don't you? I kind of wish the church could be like that. Most of all, I wish that I could be like that. That's the way Jesus loves. And my dear friend, let's determine right now, will you? Will you determine with me right now that you're going to treat people the way Jesus would treat them? Because you know what? That's real love. But he also says here that this gives them a new identity. He says, "By this all will know that you are my disciples." You know, sometimes we can identify certain Christian groups by the way they dress. And I'm glad that a Christian does have a dress code. You're supposed to dress like a child of God, not a child of this world. But you know what? You can't just tell a Christian by the way people dress, or sometimes by the way they act or the way they speak. But here's the way Jesus said the world will know. It's because you have love for one another, that you really care about each other. That is the way the world will know. That's the primary mark of a true disciple, is love. Love, love. Somebody pointed out one time that church life can be kind of like a bunch of porcupines trying to get together to stay warm. They might get warm, but they can get injured too. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes, maybe too often. But you know what? If we really love each other, we'll do just like those children did in that race, and we'll go back and we'll walk through to the end together. Well, just thought I'd share some of that with you. Hope it touched your heart. Sure did mine. God bless you. The good Lord willing and the saints don't rise. I'll see you right here next time on Victory for Today. God bless you and goodbye.